So Beatrice Mendoza, like introduce yourself as a new member to Power Partners. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So I met you and then Deborah through community events. I like to say that I'm retired from working government because I no longer work for government. I worked for a representative of the California legislature, then a member of Congress, and then a county supervisor. So that's my background. Went to UCLA with a degree in political science. From there, I met a lot of people in the community, especially working with the chambers. That was part of my issue area, going out to the community representing the person that I represented. And I met a lot of business owners. And that's how I met you, I believe, through Ruben Alvarez, who gave me your contact for a website. And ever since then, I have been working on my own because my daughter developed some sort of special need. So I had to go into working on my own. So I had a notary public commission from 22 years ago. So I started using that. So I'm a notary public, I'm a signing agent, and then I'm also a life agent. So I try to do as much as I can in the little time that I have because I do have a daughter who's going off to college. And then my son just started high school. So I'm a busy person. My daughter was so involved with sports. So I had very little time, but I appreciate the the time, and I commend business owners because we really have to organize our time with the time that we have. So that's what I do. I also work part-time for an attorney that does estate planning, so I'm his in-house notary public as well as help prepare the binders for the clients. So that's what I do in a nutshell.
Okay. Who do you consider your Power Partners, people who give you repeat referral business?
Yes, so it would be like the realtors, mortgage companies, estate attorneys, and for just members in the community who need power of attorneys and health directives. So I do a lot of those individual, in the community from, again, people from the chamber say, hey, Beatrice is a notary. She can notarize your health directive. She can notarize your power of attorney. And I've been really busy currently with notarizing power of attorneys. So those are my repeat partner customers.
Okay. Who do you find yourself giving leads to or needing resources from?
Needing resources from leads to. So, a lot of people ask me for if I have any referrals for attorneys, for realtors, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. And also nonprofits. There's, as you probably know, when you're in the community, you learn about a lot of nonprofits, and they always ask me, "Hey, Beatrice, do you know where I can send my client? They're short on rent. Where can they go?" Because I work for legislative members, I know about a lot of resources in the community, like where do you get food, where do you get diapers, where do you get help with rent. So I refer a lot of people to nonprofits, to attorneys, and to those different kind of community organizations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Any questions for Beatrice?
Are you
I have a
bilingual?
question, Beatrice. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, I was going to say, are you bilingual?
I am definitely bilingual equally. My Spanish is perfect. I write it, I read it. I in every job that I've had, like with the legislative members, I used to work with the Spanish language media. So I can write press releases, I can write with, articles. So yes.
Okay. Sometimes when I get a Hispanic client who needs a bilingual signing, I'll certainly keep you in mind.
Thank you.
But do you speak Spanglish?
I speak Spanglish. Yep.
So you're trilingual. Got it.
Do you have a question, Guy?
Yeah, Beatrice, do you work with nonprofit organization, or because we are an IT company that specializes in nonprofit organizations? So I think it's going to be an interesting thing to meet you.
Yes, definitely. So after I worked for government, I started working for a state senator back in 1999. So that was a long time ago. And they go in and out of office. So that's how I worked for three of them. I used to be I don't know if you remember me saying this, but I was the CEO of the YWCA of Orange County.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Great.
It's in
good.
Fullerton. And I did that right before COVID. Unfortunately, I had to let go of my staff, and then I had to let go of myself. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. Tough one. All right. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I was right. You do a lot. Are you still even running for a school board position?
No, I'm actually running for the school site council at my son's high school. So I'm still, involved just in my kids' education. I've always been on the PTA, the school site council. I was a chair. So I'm running in this new high school to be a school site council member. They're in charge of allocating the extra funds for the students. Like what do we pay for? And it's more than the PTA. It's managing the money of the school. So that's what I'm running for.
Okay, well, if you need your students or classes need ties, we have a lot of ties to give away. We go and mentor them and show them how to knot the tie, give them their first tie if they've never had one. And that's our Power Tie giveaway, part of Power Partners.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Good to know.
Okay. All right, let's go on. As a reminder here, we're recording these sessions. If anybody doesn't want to be recorded or edited out, just let me know. Anything that you mention here is confidential if you want it to be. We'll edit it out, including you completely if need be. But the reason we do record it is because we are becoming more and more highly reliant on Johnny's AI. We see that the content that we get from these meetings, from our podcasts, are very helpful in making these introductions and kind of catching leads that might have been dropped or connections that might have been dropped when I review these. So we do see a value in building a knowledge base of Power Partner USA members. Even if you leave Power Partners, your information stays. If you do a ChatGPT search on yourself, like I'll take Phil as an example, is there a podcast by Phil Shakurlian talking about estate planning? He should come up in the Power Partners USA podcast. So same with Beatrice. So, same with Mark. So that information, not necessarily the information from the meetings, but they call me when I'm not necessarily the information from these meetings, but let me ask Johnny real quick. If I put a file, a transcript of, say, a meeting in the back end of the AI, will it just be searched in the knowledge base or does it become public?
Nope. It's unique to your knowledge base only.
Okay. So there are ways to keep information private within the knowledge base, but I still need to get more training from Johnny on that. But
yeah, if you want it public, there's other ways to do it if you want it public.
But all this information we just got from Beatrice, nobody's going to remember that necessarily unless they took notes or call her directly, but it is recorded and it will be there, Beatrice. So for me, especially to refer to and connect you with people. So that's that. Let's go to James Cleveland. I met James on LinkedIn. He liked one of our posts, actually the post about Windows 10 to 11 Guy, and when talking with Guy and on the podcast. And I just had a conversation with him, told him about Power Partners, saw that he's got a very interesting company here in Long Beach. So James, why don't you introduce yourself? Thank you.
Very cute. Yeah. First and foremost, I'm a family man. So got my wife. She's a big fancy landscape architect, does major projects all over Southern California, Northern Texas, etc. So anybody ever needs a world-class landscape architect, we've got one of the best. And I got 3 kids, 8th grade, 6th grade, 2nd grade. Yeah. And so I've been doing business in Long Beach, for some 30 years through a company my parents originally started. So they got in early in investment real estate. I went to USC, so I got an architectural degree and I have an architectural license. We also have a general contractor's license and we also are designated brokers. So we've more or less adapted our business model into doing everything design, build, and management. And we're particularly focused in Long Beach, all the way down to about Newport Beach. And I don't really care to drive more than an hour for a project. And so that's one of our bases here is, we have good, tremendous live-work balance. We have 5 staff in office, and then we have 5 additional staff that are remote that do everything from business development and marketing, and then of course all the architectural tools you can possibly imagine. So renderings, videos, walkthroughs, models, and just down to simple 2D, vignettes. So, architecture for architects is always going to be their passion, but there are people occasionally who need some general construction support, and we prefer to say no than yes. But if there's a learning opportunity, if there's a really good reason to support this client, 100% we're on board. So, and it sounds shallow to say, but, net is never our driving force. We stay busy, we keep our crew rolling, and, we like to support, the families who need us. So again, we're called C2 Mod. We got a couple other companies, we do like special purpose LLCs that we manage and operate our real estate through, but C2 Mod is our core business model. And we are downtown right near the intersection of 9th and Atlantic.
Okay, who are your power partners? Who gives you repeat referral business in the areas that you just described?
Yeah. So obviously our properties that we manage, they're a key source for us. So, we have a piece of ownership there. So we like to say we are our own best client. So that is one way. We do a lot of referrals through, like, if plumbers or contractors, if somebody needs a quick sketch or needs a vignette, but we're primarily business to consumer, B2C. We've done a bunch in the retail. We've done barbershops. If you guys have ever seen a Floyd 99 barbershop in Southern California, we did all those. We've done some drawings for pizza companies and everything like that, kitchens. But generally speaking right now, we like to focus on multifamily apartment buildings and supporting new investors or seasoned investors if we need to do a remodel, if we need to do some form of upgrades, if we need to look at how do we structure an acquisition or a purchase of a new multifamily. We're pretty, 30 years, so pretty seasoned at that. But
And
architects are not a great client for us.
And
general contractors would be a great client for us.
right. So, like, just to clarify, the professional service, like a contractor, another contractor, or that would call on your service, because, I was talking about giving you a lead for a doctor who's building an office, and, they already have an architect or somebody, a designer doing it, but they should get to know you anyway, right? Whether you get a project from them or not, just another contact, right?
We like to, so relationships are most important. Again, revenue is not a motivator, we say, so if a client has a need and we have a good rapport and, we see an opportunity to really help them solve a problem, we will 100% be there. But I think what is frequently happens is people tend to want the bottom line, their bottom line focus. And so the people will, host a walkthrough of a new project. There'll be 4 or 5 contractors there kind of milling around. And that's not a great referral for us, because with all of the overhead and all of the experience that we have, we're not going to be a bottom dollar option. So we like to think of ourselves as somebody to come in early, help capture the vision, help really paint it, do the hand holding necessary up front to really achieve the vision the client wants.
Right. Indoors and outdoors, right?
Sorry, say that again?
Indoors and outdoors.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we just finished up about an $8,000 landscape remodel where we did an operable louvered pergola, as an outdoor living room with a fire pit and an outdoor kitchen. So that one ended up taking us, it took us about 9-10 weeks to do, and it was a great project for a great client, and they absolutely loved their place. So it was, absolute pleasure.
Okay. One more question for me is, like, what resources do you typically find yourself needing, legal or otherwise?
So we do have legal advisors that we've known for quite some time. So if we have to structure an LLC, or quickly mobilize or get a third party opinion, that being said, somebody with real estate expertise who might have an opinion would be a wonderful connection. Love to grab coffee, connect, and shoot over, how we restructure. If we're transitioning properties that have been owned, for example, 20, 30 years, how do you restructure an uplink, out of one of these older properties without, major consequence to the original owner? So that would be a great conversation. We frequently engage painters, plumbers, and electricians. And then we do have some capacity in-house as well, but sometimes.
Breaking up.
Yeah. Okay. You broke up there a second, James, but any questions for James?
Do you ever do ADUs?
Yeah, in fact, we're working on an ADU right now, and we recently completed them. And I will tell you, it's not as streamlined as it's made out to be. Once you have your permit, it's a great opportunity. You can just build through. But the thing that we consistently run into is, one, Public Works wants to know what the water supply, what the demands are. And if you building an ADU and framing, finishing, et cetera, is not complicated. But if you have to replumb an entire site, or if you have to bring in Southern California Edison and the City of Long Beach Electrical Department, and what you thought was a simple upgrade, they might all of a sudden turn that into a 6-month catastrophe. So we've done a couple ADUs, and we're certainly happy to help, in particular, help create the vision for what best return on investment. Is it a garage conversion or an attached or a detached? So yeah, happy to support.
The reason I'm asking is I finance ADUs.
Oh, great.
And I do occasionally have clients who, the reason they're doing the reverse mortgages for an ADU. So potentially I could refer to you, and hopefully if you have a client seeking financing, I could work on that end.
Fantastic. Do you have the ability to underwrite an ADU into an acquisition of a new property, 8 units, and you want to add a garage conversion or a second story ADU or something? Are you able to get a bridge, involved in the loan there?
No, all I do is reverse mortgages. That's my
Got it.
specialty.
Got it.
I obviously, since I've done this so long, I can refer you to someone else, but personally, all I do is reverse mortgages.
Excellent.
Can Jack do, is that something Jack can do? Does anybody know?
Potentially, Jack might be able to do it.
Yeah, if you need referrals for bridge loans or investment loans, like hard money loans, I got a laundry list from my flipping days. So I can help you out there.
We'll love it. As long as, we're not putting up, personal residence as collateral. As long as we can underwrite through a business, happy to do it.
No, usually it's they gouge you on the rate.
Yeah.
20% down, 13% rate, and a 1-year term or in a 1-year term is usually for the hard money.
All
But
right.
we can always go non-QM too.
I'll reach out to Jack for that for you. I'm surprised he's not on here because I thought he'd be on here. But anyway, any other questions for James?
So I was thinking about something to Beatrice. You talked about doing power of attorneys, and in light of, the recent situation with immigration, we had an idea that we bandied about if there's people in our residences who could be potentially in danger of being removed from their house, or if they were potentially in danger of having their assets taken over, can they assign a power of attorney? Is that something you've thought about or done?
That is something that I'm doing. Yes, definitely.
Living trust, my friend. Everything should be in a living trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, the living trust includes the power of attorney, health directive, the HIPAA, but separately, yes, I have been doing that.
And let me interject.
So not
Everything should-
everybody.
We got to connect.
Everything
Sorry.
should be in a trust, not always a living trust. The different trusts.
Forget
are right.
trust, yeah. Sorry, I always default to living, but yes, in a trust. I'm a firm believer that everyone should own nothing. That way no one can take anything from you.
What were you going to say, Beatrice?
Yes, I have been doing those individually in the communities. For example, this next Sunday, I am going to be at a location where there are volunteer attorneys and volunteer notary publics who will be notarizing power of attorneys for free.
Really? Well, I would love to know where that is, because I've recently sponsored someone. It was my first time sponsoring, but the idea of more protections. And so the notarization is one thing, but obviously creating the living trust, revocable or unwise, right? That's, that could be $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, and that might be a roadblock for some.
Well, for the attorney that I work for, you won't believe it. If it's a single one, it doesn't matter. How do I say this? I have notarized and worked for probably about 3 estate planning attorneys. The one that I work for now, if it's a single person individual, it's $1,000. If it's a couple, it's $1,300. He's very reasonable. And with previous attorneys, if you want to leave 30% to one and 50% to the other child and 10, they charge you like $5,000, $6,000. But with this attorney, he doesn't care how much you leave your children. If he has to divide it, He is so thorough and great, and he only does business by word of mouth. He doesn't do any marketing. That's how great he is. And inexpensive.
What about the end? Is there I mean, there's ongoing annual fees probably associated with being the power of attorney. No, nothing. That would be amazing. I've got at least 3, 4, 5 people, tomorrow I could refer.
Oh, definitely. You should talk. I can have you talk to my attorney. He's great. He even answers the phone calls on the weekends. So just to tell you that much. And he does the consultations right there on the spot. So I can definitely connect you, and you can talk to him.
So
And Beatrice, is he including asset protection and tax planning into his estate plans?
Yep. He's been doing this for
That's-
10 years.
That's really cheap then. I couldn't even come close to doing it that cheap. And I'm considered
paid
cheap
$4
for what I
grand
do.
mine.
yeah, Beatrice, bring them into Power Partners. We can use more people. Any other questions for James? So James, yeah, thanks for joining us. What do you kind of, and Beatrice, oh, we just lost him. Oh, we didn't
He got his money's worth, so he's gone already. He got his money's worth in referrals, and now he's gone.
Beatrice, let's come back to you. I'm sure you'll come back. You wanted to talk for Joaquin, our other new member who has his own printing business.
Yes. Joaquin has been in business for 30 years. It's called Bravo Printing. And he's very well known in the community for doing invoices. He does invoices for a lot of businesses that still do paper invoices. He does a lot of banners for grand openings and just banners in general for businesses, for faith-based organizations. He does a lot of envelopes for churches for donations or envelope draw. And of course, he does a lot of business cards. We're still using business cards when we go to the networking events or chamber events and things like that. So he does a lot of that as well. But he basically does everything printing. I told him he should come up with a model. If you can think it, we can print it. That's what I tell him. But yeah, he can print anything.
Right. Do you have any questions, Deborah, about the printing?
No, I'm just looking forward to find out, talk to Joaquin. We actually did for a while, but no, I think we can connect on doing some business together.
Yeah, we want.
With the business cards, you hands down, people still need them.
Yeah. That's
I
for
mean,
sure.
even just like the brochure that we did for the group, it's amazing how people just hold on to it, and like how we're going to use it for this mixer. And actually, that's how we kind of got Johnny too. They grabbed that brochure at a conference and hung on to it and stayed in touch with us. But yeah, just, because, I do online and offline and work with printing with our clients. So kind of see how we can work together on those projects.
Yes, and he's very patient. I have to tell you that. I would not have the patience to do all the work that he puts into a client. Like, he had a walk-in and he spent like almost 2 hours just talking to him. Okay, what do you want? And do you want? And he got what he wanted. And I said, hey, you're not getting your money's worth. Because he spent like almost 2 hours talking to him about what he really wants. And the customer was really happy with what he came up with the design. And he's been doing it for 30 years. But he gives the people the attention, and he doesn't charge them for, what they have to them, basically. But he's very patient in terms of designing as well. Like, I've never seen him get frustrated over a design. He just does it peacefully and with patience. I mean, he has 4 kids. He has to be patient.
Well, and also he just has a new office space or a new location. So I would like to someday, run over there and check it out.
Yes, that
You
would be
guys.
great. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We could be good power partners with you guys on printing.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So just the other announcement for people that came on late, just Jack Sensky is our latest renewal. So he renewed for another year. So we're happy to have him. We'll be announcing that. I wish he was on here so we could let him speak about this, meet James as well. But I think I was going to ask James one more thing when he cut off, but if I remember it, I'll come back to you, James.
Yeah.
So we're at the point of just a quick question. How did you guys do on the true false questions I gave last week for Jeff Hakeem?
I did good.
Did you guys take the test, the quiz?
Yeah, it was good.
No.
I failed.
Did you learn anything, Tom?
Actually, I pretty much knew what he was dealing in. Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Yeah. So we've got going coming out for Candace tomorrow. We'll see how well you know Candace. For Referral Wednesday. Okay. So let's see here. Let's go to Tom. Do you want to give us the latest on, we're in the member speak portion of our meeting. Give us the latest or the updates, what you're doing, who you're looking to meet.
I'm looking to meet trust attorneys. I'm looking to meet financial planners, enrolled agents. I've been having a lot of success with enrolled agents and financial planners. Got plenty of realtors I'm dealing with. So I'd say trust attorneys and financial planners are probably the highest priority right now for people for me to meet.
Okay. We are looking for more financial planners in the network if you know of anybody, Tom.
Okay.
I know you referred me one guy, but he didn't ever respond back. So
Okay.
just keep at it. We're going to be pushing come September for a lot more members. You'll see. Any questions for Tom?
Hey, Alan, are you open to financial planners outside of the area?
Yeah, we're Power Partners USA. Candace lives in Florida. We can work with anybody who can work remotely or nationally.
I just met a guy with a New York Life that has all kinds of resources. He's up here in Reno, though.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we're Power Partners USA. Thank you. Anything else to add, Tom?
That's it for now.
Okay, so you want referrals or introductions to these skilled nursing facilities?
Skilled nursing facilities are very good. Yeah.
Okay, I'll work on that because I've been working closely with Arlene on trying to get placements of in-home care personnel. So anybody who needs in-home care or people who know anybody who knows people who can refer out, like case managers, social services people, they're good referrals. And then that ties into what Tom does and what Jim does. Okay, thank you. Let's see, Johnny, do you have an announcement?
I do. So been working long and hard on this, but we have the new Prism AI 3.0 platform up and running. We just updated our website to highlight all the different features and tools for it. For those of you who don't know, the new Prism AI platform allows the base platform allows our clients to get a smart AI chat widget to be embedded on their home pages or their web pages that allows you to capture leads. So basically you're turning your website visitors into potential leads. And then we also have a portal where you can manage those leads in a lead management system, as well as a section where you can actually generate social media content. And the beautiful part about all this is that there's no technical knowledge you guys need to have. Even the widget is hosted and maintained by us. It's just a JavaScript that you add to the top of your page. And we also use AI to extract all the data, your data from your website, as well as a file folder that we give you access to through the portal on a nightly basis. And then we create an AI knowledge base that widget and social media content, or actually any AI tool that you subscribe to, will have access to, and then be constrained to, so that these tools become basically experts about your business, your services, your products, and we'll be able to provide that information to any potential clients on the front end, as well as staff on the back end, if you had like policies, procedures, and things of that nature. So if you want to know more, I encourage you to go visit IntelliGauge.com or IntelliGauge.ai. Doesn't matter, either one of them. Or if you have questions or whatnot, feel free to schedule a consultation or a demo, and I'd be happy to go through it with you.
And I can also demo it for Johnny too, if you reach out to me.
Go ahead.
I've been putting it through its paces with some of our clients. And
yeah, Alan's been my guinea pig, and and one of his clients was gracious enough to be our production guinea pig. So we've been, going through and optimizing this for the last, 4-6 weeks now, Alan?
Yeah, no, it's coming along great. It looks good.
Yeah. So yeah, we've we think we've hit something really, this is not just Chat GPT. We've identified that there's a lot of ways that AI can enrich your guys' data and use AI's intelligence, but your guys' data to really help you not only capture leads, but convert them too. Yeah, we're real excited about all the tools that we're in development right now as well, that you'll be able to add on to your platform so that you guys can get more leads and convert them.
Okay. So if we can get everybody in, reach out to Johnny or myself regarding AI. You'll be hearing a lot more from us coming soon too. Thanks, Johnny. Let's go to Candace. Candace, thanks again for flying in for our meeting, our in-person meeting. Why don't you tell us the latest on Take My Tasks?
Yes. So first off, excuse me, it was great meeting a lot of you. It was a lot of fun. I think it was very informational as well. And over at Take My Task, we're just taking care of our clients. I do want to give a little bit of an insight, let's say for Guy, for instance, right? We're very transparent. So he had selected a VA and it didn't work out with that VA. He thought she was great, but unfortunately her attendance wasn't that great. She got sick, was in the hospital. And so one of the things that we do at Take My Tasks is we replace, right? I actually have another candidate that actually I think is even better. So that's even great, right? But one of the things that why I'm letting you guys know is because one, we're very transparent. Two, we're going to do everything to make sure that we take care of our customers. And so yeah, that's one of the things going on. I know, oh my God, why his name was literally on the tip of my tongue and then it went on. Our other client.
Jim, was it Jim?
Yeah, yes. Jim will be returning next month. It's basically slow for him during this time. And so next month is September. He'll be picking back up with Take My Tasks, doing lead generation. So we're excited about that. Other than that, we pretty much have clients that are signing up on a daily basis and fulfilling those roles.
Okay. Any questions for Candace? We're looking to start, Candace, kind of a combination of Power Partners and I Trust Marketing with the list we have with a, outreach lead gen person in September. Okay.
Yep. We are working on that as well. I'm looking forward to that as well.
Okay. And then if that social media manager can get back with us about I'm just kind of interested in learning how the social media interaction goes. If somebody can call me on a Zoom. Because I'm making these proposals for clients and I want to include social media, but I'm not going to do the social media posts. We
right.
use a combination of Johnny's AI to use the content and then you guys to build it out and post it. So it's a whole process anyway. So we need help.
Definitely. We'll set that up.
Okay. Let's go to Mark. How you doing, Mark? What's the latest in the bankruptcy world?
A lot of everything. I'm sure everyone saw TGIFs filed. So a lot of these restaurants are struggling with tariffs. Just saw yesterday, Hotel Laguna now is going into receivership. So hopefully no one has any future summer plans there. So that's going to be a problem. But yeah, bankruptcies are way up and a lot of calls. And hopefully the sub chapter 5 debt limit gets raised from 3 million to 7.5 million. That's a small business chapter 11. It's an extremely powerful tool for individuals and businesses to use the bankruptcy process in a very cheaper and faster way to get reorganized. So
are these harbinger, these big corporations filing Rite Aids, closing stores, all that stuff? What does that mean?
Well, the bigger bankruptcies have the trickle down effect, right? So you got Rite Aid go down. Well, that means there's a lot of landlords out there now that have empty boxes. And then there's everyone servicing those big entities. TGIF, all the food vendors, probably a bunch of food vendors are going to be stuck some money. And so so the bigger ones have a much bigger trickle down effect. But the bankruptcy courts are getting clogged up. The Santa Ana bankruptcy judges right now are way overworked, and some of their decisions are based upon their clogged calendar, in my opinion. So you got to be very wary of that when you're filing what you're doing.
Does that tend to favor the debtor or the creditor?
It depends on the situation, Bill, right? Depends on what your argument is or what side of the fence you're on. So yeah, it's busy, and I'm having to be pretty tough with some of my referrals on making sure I get paid a consultation fee, because I provide real advice, and sometimes that real advice results in no further work for me. So we do not provide free consultations, because I'd spend half my day not getting paid. So just the way it is. But if you want good real advice, then send them my way.
And I can confirm that Mark has given very good advice to myself and several other people that I have sent his way.
Thanks, Phil.
And Mark, yeah, because I mentioned about how we want more content in our knowledge base, our Power Partners knowledge base, and I was wanting to do like quicker audio only podcasts, 20 minutes or so on a subject that you would like to cover, like the latest news on something. So it's not, we're not pulling everything out of you. It's just certain information, and it would just be a phone call. Would that work out?
Yeah, I would love to do a very short one on subchapter 5s as that debt limit gets raised.
Right.
Because I'm just a huge advocate of that. We do, we represent debtors, creditors, all types of different players in bankruptcies. But for my debtor clients with under $3 million of debt, and hopefully that gets raised to $7.5 million debt, the subchapter 5 process is just so clean for a debtor. You don't have creditors don't vote on a plan. They can't form a committee. You just have to show disposable income. Owners don't have to put any money into the business to save their equity interest. It's really just, let's put it this way. If a creditor calls me and says, hey, this guy owes me money, he filed a subchapter 5, I say, guess what? You're screwed. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I'd love to do something on that, but let's wait till that. They're voting on that real soon here on that subchapter 5 debt limit.
Who's voting?
Congress.
Oh, okay. So when will that happen?
I think it's happening. It's going to happen very soon. They've been taking a lot of testimony on it. A lot of Congress is doing a lot of interviewing on it. They raised it. The debt limit was originally $3 million in 2019, right before COVID, and then for COVID, they increased it to $7.5 million, but it had a sunset, and then it reverted back to the $3 million, and now they're talking about bumping it back up permanently.
Oh, Mark, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How does it affect the housing market, all those bankruptcies? Does it have any, like with individual homeowners that going to go bankrupt and start selling their houses?
Well, it depends on how much equity they have, I mean, so if a guy, someone has a lot of equity in their house, there's only so much equity they can protect. It's increased quite a bit now. It's in Orange County now. It's protect up to over $700,000 of equity. But I have one individual I'm dealing right now. He has $1.2 million of equity, and he has an SBA loan, but that's personally guaranteed. But the SBA has not filed a lien on his house, and so I'm going to create a controversy with the SBA and settle with them, so that they can then record a lien on the house and basically reserve that equity for the SBA, so that if he files a personal bankruptcy, he's not going to have to sell his house. I know it's a little complicated, but there's a lot of different strategies. But to answer your question, it really depends if how much equity you have. If you have a lot of equity, and I think the reports are that quite a few people have zero mortgages on their homes. And if it gets to a point where there's personal guarantees kicking in, there's going to be people out there forced to sell their homes to pay off that debt, and they'll be able to keep $700,000 of equity, but the rest is going to go to their creditors.
Got it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And if you get ahead of it and you do the planning before you get into trouble, I can protect every single penny of equity in your home. I don't care if you live in a $100 million home.
Yeah. So that's exactly when I point to Phil if I had this one guy who has 1.2 and I couldn't figure out how to secure it, like with the SBA was my strategy, then I send him to Phil, and he sets up a QPRT, a qualified personal residence trust, or something to basically protect the house. And then we end up really never filing bankruptcy and allow the creditors to try to unwind that asset protection vehicle.
Okay, great, Mark. Great information. This is all going to go into our AI. It'll last forever, or until the laws change.
Yeah, these snippets are going to be awesome for the knowledge base, because most people are going to just ask questions like, hey, I need bankruptcy help, and then
Well, no, I
AI
use it. I use it differently. I use it more in depth, but
well, I'm talking about something in the future, but whatever.
but no, it's great information for me, and it's good to know that Congress is actually doing something. So
yeah,
it's all right. So what, say Johnny, like what he said, basically just gave me the questions for the podcast. So it saves me a lot of time as I
Yeah.
use that. On top of that, let's go to Miguel Bravo from Comerica Bank.
Yeah, hi folks. So just a quick update in the banking industry. So industry-wide right now across the banks, a good time. They're very competitive right now with rates as far as deposits go. So you may want to revisit your current bank situation, see if your bank has any offers or promotions going on right now. Industry-wide, it's all banks are trying to capture more deposits. So that usually tends to lead to higher interest rates when it comes to like money markets or CDs. So if you haven't had a banker review your particular accounts or any offers that they may have, I highly suggest you reach out and just go back and revisit your portfolio. Like I mentioned, right now the landscape is very aggressive as far as acquiring deposits for most banks at the moment. So yeah, that's pretty much just an update for the banking right now.
Any questions for Miguel? So Miguel, like my CD is maturing on Saturday. Do I come in on Friday or Monday?
Monday.
Okay.
Monday.
And we need quarters.
Sounds good.
I'll see you later.
We'll stop in later. So she's a full service bank over there. Okay, let's see who am I missed. Okay, so we just got Phil. Phil's our last guest here. I guess Charles.
Did you do Guy?
James, his phone like burned out. So Phil, how you doing? What's the latest with the new organization?
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know me, I'm a wealth and legacy attorney. So I do everything from basic estate planning to high-level tax and asset protection planning, helping people start and exit their businesses. And then we do trust admin and probate as long as there's no fighting. Big thing right now, the one big beautiful bill that just came out has some huge changes. There's some great tax provisions in there, and it's allowed us to do some very creative tax planning strategies. Instead of focusing on estate planning or estate tax planning for a lot of clients, we can now focus on reducing income taxes as well as capital gains taxes. There's something called qualified small business stock election, and you used to be able to get a $10 million free capital gains when selling your small business stock. Now that's up to 15 million, but we can set up irrevocable trusts if you have more than 15 million in gain, and each irrevocable trust can own part of the stock. So you could sell a business for hundreds of millions of dollars and not pay any capital gains on it. Same with real estate. We can do things along those lines for that. SALT taxes, state and local taxes, we can set up irrevocable trusts where you can, the limit was just raised from $10,000 cap to 40, but for some of our clients, that's still a big problem. And we can set it up so each irrevocable trust gets a $40,000 deduction. For most of you, you probably have a small business like an S Corp. And if you have an S Corp, you get a 20% deduction under section 199A. But that phases out at certain income limitations. It's a couple $100,000. And if you make more than that, you don't get the discount. But if you set up an irrevocable trust that owns a portion of your business, then you can keep that phase out from becoming an issue, and you can have a full 20% deduction on your entire business. So that's been really, really helpful. We've been able to help with capital gains tax for people when they die rather than estate tax because the exemption is so high. And then asset protection. High net worth clients, people that drive nice cars or own businesses, everybody sees them as being rich and wants to sue them. And so they got a giant target on their back, and it's not so much tax savings that they're worried about anymore, it's being sued. And so if people come to us before anything happens, we can build a fortress around all of your assets and make sure they're protected. But if you come to me with your hair on fire, the best I can do is make some speed bumps.
On that 20%, that 20% is off the gross amount that the small business makes?
Yeah, it's off the gross, which is fantastic. It's not off the net, so it's an even bigger discount. And so if you make $100,000, you start your deductions at 80,000 rather than 100,000.
Isn't that in place now?
It is. However, the phase outs have changed, and now there's the opportunity to set up non-grantor trusts where you can again have portions of your business owned by different irrevocable trusts and make sure you stay under those phase out levels, because once you hit, and I can't remember the number off the top of my head, there were so many things in the big beautiful bill, but once you hit that level, I want to say it's like 250, then you don't get that 20% discount anymore. It's a little bit less and a little bit less till it completely phases out. And so if you're making, say, 500,000, what you can do is you can have half the business owned in an irrevocable trust, half in your name, and both of you can stay under that 250,000 limit and get the full 20% deduction.
Okay. Any questions for Phil? I have one more question. Like, I've listened to your team's podcasts, seminars. They're very informational, but it's
There's
way
a lot
over,
of them.
yeah, it's way over my head. It's like if you and Mark were talking shop, I wouldn't be able to understand. So it's like, I guess it goes to say that we need that expertise in these situations, whether it's prior to getting in trouble or after getting in trouble, because this is not a do-it-yourself thing, right?
Absolutely not. None of the stuff that I do is a do-it-yourself stuff. Even basic trusts. I mean, I'm sure Beatrice knows probably 90% of my business is fixing bad trusts. Alan's had experience with how complicated trusts can be as well. And there's a lot of estate planning attorneys out there that are garbage. Their trusts will actually hurt the clients more than it will help them. And so we fix those all day long.
Hey, Phil, do you guys also deal with or work with small business owners who are looking to get investment?
Yeah. I'm not out there finding the investors, but I work on the contracts and making sure that,
Yeah, I
that
got some.
the control remains where it needs to be.
Yeah, I got some investors that I'm in the middle of a round right now doing safe notes, but now I have a bigger investor who wants a significant, and I'm just kind of like, crap, I really don't know what I'm getting myself into here.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of tax consequences and liability consequences, and who's gonna have that target on their back.
That's the little bit that I've discovered. That's why I asked. I'm like, oh, I should probably ask him.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a call. Be glad to give you
Yeah.
a free consultation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if anyone wants to invest, let me know.
Yeah.
We're still taking safe notes.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong clock. I thought it was 12:12. It's only 12:04. We've done pretty good for time here today. Deborah, we haven't heard from you yet. What's the latest of the iTrust marketing?
Well, we have ongoing projects where I wrote a list here, especially with Power Partners, ongoing with Arlene at Option Care, working with her marketing material and promoting, well, you're getting contacts. Valerie, small project with her, but also she gave us a great referral for the doctor that's building her own little medical center, and we're doing the website and logo, and then that'll continue on to other marketing material. And always ongoing with Johnny on the Murphy beds, etc. One thing I would like to say about that I'm really impressed with the system. It's the website that needs to be cleaned up and always updated and new info on it, get rid of old data. So that's one thing that it's going to help us with our clients.
Oh, let me
optimization, baby. It's a whole new industry.
Right.
One more. Let me finish.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then ongoing, Michael Bach, the video, Wolfgang, he referred us to Rancho Alameda, so we do the website. So that's ongoing kind of maintenance, updating some stuff. They handle it themselves pretty good, but they always need a little bit of help on something. And I also need to listen to the latest podcasts on the new podcast, and always working on Power Partners, updating that info. So Alan's the upfront for iTrust and the project manager. I'm behind the scene doing the graphics. So, but if you want to see our work, we have a great portfolio on itrustmarketing.biz, and I think I have it laid out pretty nice where you can go to different sections, print, websites, things like that.
Yeah, we in iTrust Marketing, we've been spending a lot of time with clients getting into their websites, and Deborah mentioned cleaning them up, but the nowadays searching is going through AI. So your website really needs to be current and accurate and informational, because the way people are searching is changing. So it's a form of SEO just by updating your website and making it, your blog articles, everything. So this is why a lot of this content is going to help us and Power Partners as well. But, we'll go into client websites and really start from building their website content back up, because it'll pay off as people start to use ChatGPT and Gemini and all these Perplexity to do their search. Like I said, search yourself on any of these, you'll come up, your podcast will come up, and just kind of shows that we're promoting you inside and outside the network. And hopefully, we never know if that turns into a lead for you. It's hard, it's impossible to track for us, but that's a benefit to you guys. So your information is out there. This information's out there. It's all for the benefit of our members. Anything else? Anything else, Deborah? Any questions for Deborah?
No, I've updated the Power Partners website too, so always.
Why don't you mention about LinkedIn and reminding people to follow us?
Yeah, everybody's on LinkedIn. If you're not, you can get an account. It's pretty easy, but just try to connect with everybody, because the information is constantly coming up with Power Partners promoting you, and then it's really easy to like it and repost it. So that helps out a lot too.
Yeah. Okay. Any last comments before we close out? I think, John, if you can stay on, I just wanted to ask you a couple questions about your affiliate program.
Yeah. Oh, I should have told everyone about that too.
Beatrice has a
I'll say it
question.
next time.
Beatrice.
Yeah, Beatrice, what's your question?
Well, it's not really a question, but it's an offer specifically. Well, I guess for everyone, but for Tom, if you've ever thought of doing any like presentation type or a seminar, we have the facility at SoCal Financial. The limit is probably 120, I don't know, but we have a location, and if you need me to interpret, I can interpret and invite Spanish speaking people as well, because I think that there lacks information about reverse mortgage in the Latino community. So our center is there. It's called the SoCal Financial. It's in Buena Park, and we'll be glad to lend you the facility, except Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings, which is when we have our trainings. So the facility is there for anyone involved with Power Partners. We'll be glad to sponsor the location.
Maybe we can do an event there, like we've done in the past for, like at Microsoft stores, we've done events for Power Partners. Maybe we can do something there.
And Beatrice, to that point too, just to let you know, our Prism AI platform is multilingual. In other words, we can, for the Spanish speaking community, they have questions or stuff regarding with the presentation or any of your guys' products, or even just those things in general, it will translate it all into Spanish for them, so they could search it whenever they want on top of the stuff that you guys offer.
Oh, great. I was thinking about you when you were talking about what you were saying, because the trust attorney I work for, they submit the questionnaire, and then we go into ChatGPT to tell it what to give us, but we need more of that. We need to fix something about that. So
All that, yeah, we do custom solutions too. Yeah, the platform is just the base platform to get you started, but you can add tools, or we can create custom ones for you too.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Unless anybody has anything to say, I think we're good. Thank you for your time today. Have a good week, rest of the week. And we'll see you next month.